Warner Brothers wants to make more Matrix movies, but Keanu Reeves doesn't think The Matrix 5 will happen. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, The Viking. Let's talk about the future of The Matrix. The Matrix Resurrections is a very mixed film, but despite all of this, Warner Brothers want to make a Matrix 5, they want spin-offs, they want reboots, they want remakes, with or without the Wachowskis and with or without Keanu Reeves. Now, we've talked about this before on the channel, that back in 2017, Warner Brothers gave the go-ahead for a reboot of The Matrix without Keanu Reeves, without Lana Wachowski, without her sister Lily, with Michael B. Jordan set to star. Lana Wachowski went through a personal tragedy. She lost her parents and her friend. Her way of dealing with this grief was to come back to the Matrix, to bring Neo and Trinity back to life, and she wrote and directed Matrix 5. Her sister Lily decided not to come back. Lana Wachowski has said in interviews that she did not write The Matrix Resurrections as a new trilogy. And the writers and producers have also said this as well. But also, something to look at from The Matrix Resurrections is a very interesting scene that I've already broken down on the channel. That's the scene between Neo, Thomas Anderson, and Agent Smith, played by Jonathan Groff, who is the manager or the boss of Keanu Reeves' character in the movie. Because in this new Matrix, Thomas Anderson was a game developer. He created the Matrix trilogy in games, hugely successful, and he has these kind of visions of that he might have lived this, but then he thinks it's absurd because he created games about the Matrix. How could he live something that he created a game of? And his boss is Agent Smith in this new Matrix, who doesn't know that he was Agent Smith as well. They have a conversation about Warner Brothers, the parent company, want us to make a Matrix 5, and Thomas Anderson is like, what? And this, for me, felt like the conversation between Lana Wachowski and Warner Brothers, or her agent, when talking about Matrix 5. The Wachowskis never wanted to come back for another Matrix movie. They made their trilogy, that was it, it ended. Neo and Trinity died. The war was over between machines and man. A truce was made, but she came back anyways. With or without her, Warner Brothers would have made a Matrix 5. And you have characters like Neo and Morpheus in this movie going through a loop the same day over and over again. They know that something is not right. They're just doing the same thing. They're on a treadmill. They're going to work. People are on their phones. They can't grasp what's wrong. And for me, is this a mirror image of Lana Wachowski, who has made her trilogy, is done. But no matter what happens, Warner Brothers will want to make another Matrix movie, with or without her. And she doesn't want to lose the thing that she created. So she always comes back. Is she in for an endless loop of Matrix sequels because she doesn't want to give away the thing that she created? So next time around, will her sister come back? Will they both come back? What will happen with Matrix 5? Even though she said she has no plans to come back, she still could, because this is her baby. She created this. And to see something that she created in somebody else's hands could be devastating for her as a person. But Keanu Reeves, the star, Neo, Thomas Anderson, recently talked about the possibilities of Matrix 5. This comes from Screen Rant. Keanu Reeves doesn't think the Matrix 5 will happen. Keanu Reeves doesn't believe that the Matrix Resurrections will have a sequel. Reeves once again reprised his role as the chosen one in director Lana Wachowski's latest addition to the Matrix franchise. The film thus far grossed over $70 million at the worldwide box office, which saw an underperforming gross of $12 million during its opening weekend run. This week box office opening could be blamed because the film released in theaters and on HBO Max the same day, as well as the ongoing concerns about the COVID-19 pandemic. Still, the fact that The Matrix Resurrections even came to fruition is somewhat of an oddity. Both Wachowski sisters Lana and Lily have made it very clear that they had no intention to return for another Matrix movie after 2003's The Matrix Revolutions. In fact, Lily told interviewers in 2015 that returning to the Matrix series was a particularly repelling idea. Rumours have circulated for years about the Wachowskis planning 2 additional films in the franchise, even going so far as to discuss with Reeves about reprising his role. However, the rumours were later confirmed to be false. Nonetheless, Resurrections was officially announced in late 2019, with Lana attached as director, although her sister would not be returning. Now with the film released to theaters and HBO Max, viewers are left wondering if The Matrix 5 is on the horizon. Speaking with Empire magazine, Reeves discusses his thoughts on whether The Matrix 5 will happen or not. When asked about another film in the pipeline, the beloved actor jokes, "What's another one? Resurrections Redux?" Feeling that Lana is now finished with the franchise, Reeves further elaborates. "I would say that Lana would not do another Matrix." However, Reeves does say that if another film were to happen, he's in. This is what Reeves had to say about Matrix 5. "I don't believe so. If I had to cast a ballot, no, not a ballot, a vote, I would say that Lana would not do another Matrix." This isn't the first time Reeves has discussed the likelihood of The Matrix 5 happening. The actor has previously called it a Lana Wachowski question in reference to a sequel's development. Reeves has gone on to say that if Lana wanted to do another story, the 57-year-old actor would be honoured and grateful to be included. Still, as previously mentioned, nobody expected The Matrix 4 to even be made, which means a 5th film in the franchise is unlikely. This is especially true considering the lackluster box office and critical response to The Matrix Resurrections. While many saw the potential in a new Matrix film to regenerate the franchise, it doesn't seem very likely. By all accounts, it appears both Wachowski sisters are completely done with the franchise now. Even more so, if the latest installment continues to underperform, the studio may not see any value in continuing the series. Regardless, fans can now dive back into The Matrix by watching The Matrix Resurrections. I did a video the other day talking about Matrix 5 being confirmed by Warner Bros. CEO Ann Chernoff. She said that they want to do a 5th Matrix movie with Lana Wachowski. Yes, the movie isn't doing that well at the box office right now, but it was released on a streaming service the same day. And Warner Bros. A few months ago did say that movies that came out day and date on HBO Max and in theaters, it would not affect the possibilities of a sequel if they did poor at the box office. Because I think The Matrix Resurrections is the most pirated movie in the world right now because a HD copy is available. But Warner Bros. Will make another Matrix movie with or without Lana Wachowski and Keanu Reeves. And the scene between Thomas Anderson and Smith about Warner Bros. Wanting to do another Matrix game, I thought was very close to home in terms of Lana Wachowski not wanting to do another Matrix movie but being forced by Warner Brothers because they were going to do it no matter what. So it was something that she created with her sister and she probably didn't want to give it to anybody else. And in 2017, that's what they were going to do with Michael B. Jordan coming in to star in the movie and a different director. But is Lana Wachowski in a loop now? Will she have to come back to this franchise every few years to be the director? Or will her sister come back next time? Or will they both come back? Because Warner Brothers is basically wanting to cash in on this movie. They want sequels, reboots, remakes. And the movie Resurrections plays that beautifully. It holds up a mirror image to Hollywood for its needs for these reboots and sequels and this nostalgia feeling. So it's going to be very interesting what happens in the future. It really, really is. But they will 100% make another movie. It's just whether Lana Wachowski and her sister will be involved. Keanu Reeves is open to it. If the Wachowskis come back, he'll do it no problem whatsoever. But even he says he does not think that Lana will return. The writers, the producers, Lana herself said it wasn't written as a new trilogy, even though the movie does set up future installments. I would love to see the Wachowskis return, Keanu Reeves return for a Matrix 5. But they might return because they might be forced to by Warner Bros. Because Warner Bros., with or without them, will make another movie. But Keanu Reeves doesn't believe that Lana Wachowski wants to return or to do it. The writers, the producers feel the same way, and it comes right from Lana Wachowski's mouth. She is done. She wrote it as one story. But The Matrix Resurrections is a huge IEP, and Warner Brothers are not going to leave it idle for too much longer. In a world where nostalgia is popular right now, where streaming services need content, I wouldn't be surprised if a Matrix series was produced in the next few years. But guys, what's your thoughts on the possibilities of Matrix 5? Keanu Reeves doesn't believe it will happen because Lana Wachowski does not want to come back, but she said that before about the 4th movie and that ended up being made. So what do you think will be the future for The Matrix Resurrections? Will this be a one and done thing, or will we see a fifth and sixth movie in this franchise? Will Lana return, or will her sister return, or will they both return, or will we get another director, a remake, or reboot, different stars? Where do you see this franchise going right now? I would love to see them all come back for another one, but if they don't want to, then you have to respect that as well. But Warner Brothers, they won't respect that. Guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, give a thumbs up, let me know your thoughts below. Check out the other Matrix Resurrections videos on the channel. Review, explain videos, post-credit scene, Easter eggs, loads of good Matrix videos on the channel, and more to come. Guys, thank you. And let me know, is Lana Wachowski Neo in that situation? And is her sister Lily Agent Smith in that situation when they're talking about Warner Brothers and that they'll make another one with or without them? What's your interpretation of that scene? Let me know. I'm very, very intrigued.